Hey y'all, we're back. Dimples285 here. So before we get started, if you have not, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell below. Go ahead and click the thumbs up button. We're gonna jump right in. So one of my greatest accomplishments of 2019 was hands down becoming a homeowner. These are the steps that I've kind of followed. I've had friends to ask me this, coworkers to ask me this, and I think the number one misconception is that you can't do it. And you can. I'm telling you, if I did it, then you can do it. Like, seriously, you can do it. So these are the steps that I followed. These are what I encourage you to follow. And if you have any thoughts in your head telling you can't do it, because that was me, I had thoughts of, well, I'm not married, or, well, I'm only a teacher, I'm on a teacher salary, so me being able to afford a mortgage is just kind of unrealistic. Like, get those doubts out of your head. We're walking into 2020 with a new vision, with new affirmation, new I cans, new I wills, and trust me, you will. So, step one, you want to kind of research home ownership. You want to have some type of idea what it is that you want to do, what these words mean, because if I'm being very honest, it can be extremely overwhelming. Like, you know, if you have a parent you can ask about these things, or a family member who's into real estate or something like that, then that's great. But for me, like, my parents are a little bit older, so some things I could ask my mom and she could tell me, and then other things she couldn't remember. So I strongly recommend you get on Google, get on the internet, and just do some research. Even take a homeowner's course. I took one that was online, and it was about 50 bucks. I'll link it here somewhere in this video. It was great. I could go at my own pace. It came with PDFs, like quizzes at the end. It was great and highly informative. And some are free, where you just wake up and go on a Saturday morning and it's free. So I strongly encourage you to do some research, understand the basics, learn some of the vocabulary, because it's a lot. Even to this day, like, I'm moved in and still some stuff I'm like, wait, what? What is that? In addition to step one, I don't even remember who put me on to this, or maybe I was just like researching on my own and found it. There are a lot of home buyer assistance programs. So if, again, you're feeling like, well, I don't think I make enough, or I don't think I could do this, just Google home buyer assistance programs in Atlanta or wherever you're from, and there are tons of things that come up. I went through a home buyers program. They help with down payment. It was just great. It was awesome. It was a blessing in disguise. So again, don't be afraid to do your research. Google, read things, talk to people, ask questions. 2, save what you can. This was another reason why I felt like home ownership was never really in the picture for me, because I felt like I don't have no money to save. But in actuality, you do. Like, maybe cancel out some of those trips. That was mine. I love to travel, so some of those trips I can go on. Or shopping. Ooh, I'm a great online shopper. Cancel out those things that you love to do and save up. And if you need to add on another income stream, because I knew at the time I was renting in an apartment, and my rent was like $1,500. So there wasn't a lot of extra for me to save. So even with me cutting out like $100 here or a trip there, it still isn't a lot to save when your rent is extremely expensive. Create another income stream, people. I Airbnb'd for a while, and it was very lucrative. So I get questions about that a lot too. So if that's something y'all interested in, let me know. But Airbnb, like, saved me. All right, step 3, you want to go ahead and get pre-qualified. So you want to find a bank, find a lender, find somewhere you're comfortable with. Now, I don't really know how you go about finding a lender. I guess whoever you're comfortable with banking with. I went through a home ownership program, and so they had a list of lenders. And if I'm just being 100% honest, I just picked the name that I felt like sounded like very well to do. And then I found a lender who looked like me. And by like me, I mean she was black, and she was an older woman, so she had been doing it for a while. So I picked someone who I felt comfortable with. I emailed them, asked a few questions just to kind of fill her out to see like, well, how long will it take you to respond to me? What is your work ethic like? And she was right on the money, just like I anticipated. Something about my intuition was just like, get her, get her, get her, get her. And so I did, and she was awesome. So again, find a lender, find someone who is responsive to you, answers your questions, and that's who you want to go with. And get pre-qualified, okay? A pre-qualification letter does not mean that you in there. I know when I got my pre-qualification letter, child, I thought I was balling. Basically, to get your pre-qualification letter, you submit a lot of documents like W-2s, check stubs, and the bank will tell you, based upon what you make and your debt to income ratio, we think you can afford a home for X amount. Now, does that mean you can afford that home? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You need to take a look at your finances and your lifestyle, okay? So just because the bank might say you can get a home for this much, if you know you like to travel, you like to buy expensive things, then you might need to look for a home a little bit down here, give yourself a little wiggle room, okay? So again, get your pre-qualification letter, and that just means this is where you should start searching. You don't want to go above this number here because we are not going to give you any more money to purchase your home above this number. Basically, that's what that means. What I actually did was I reached out to my lender because again, I had been emailing her. We had a great relationship, and I said, hey, I'm having a really hard time just finding a real estate agent. Nobody in my family does it. My mom and dad purchased their home umpteen years ago, so their person is no longer alive or extremely old. So can you help me? She recommended an agent to me, and when I tell you, Mr. Bell was on it. Oh my goodness, I was waking up to homes. He was texting me, he was emailing me homes, like on my planning period, on my lunch break. I had stuff to be looking at. And if I said I liked it, he said, okay, well, what time are you free today after work? We need to go look at this because this is a hot one. We need to check this out, and if this is something you like, we need to put in an offer, but if not, no worries. So he never made me feel pressured. If you are working with a real estate agent and they make you feel pressured, like, how many homes we gonna look at? It's not right for you. If you're working with a real estate agent and you feel like you're outworking them, it's not right for you. You need to work with someone who is going to do their job, send you homes, be responsive, but also be patient to the fact that this is a huge decision, so you don't need to rush into it. It's not like a pair of shoes where you can just take it back like, oh, I changed my mind. Like, nah, you stuck with that, and it's probably one of the biggest purchases you'll make in a lifetime. So again, find an agent, someone you trust, someone who's patient, someone who is hard working, and go with that. Step 5 is the fun part, or I don't know, to me it wasn't that fun. Find the home. I feel like I look at upwards of about 50 homes. Like every day I was getting off work, I was on the computer. If I wasn't on the computer, I was going to view homes with my agent. And a lot of times, even after I would view the home, I would say, no, this not it. I don't like this. I would still go home and look at more listings and things that he would send me. So for some people, they can find it on like the second or third try. Other people look at over 100 homes, and it is okay. Again, take your time, don't settle. And if you are settling, settle for things that are not high up on your priority list. So for me, the kitchen was important, the closet was important. Those were the two things that I was not willing to budge on. Sometimes this is the process, part of the process where you get a little bit discouraged. I know I did. So when I say that my home ownership process was like 5 years, it was because I would find things and I would be super excited, and then I would go and I'd be like, oh wait, these pictures aren't as good as I thought they would be. And so I just got discouraged and tired of looking, honestly, so I stopped because the housing market here in Atlanta is very competitive. So I would find things that I love, like, yes, this is it, but then it would be under contract, or someone would outbid me. So I just got a little bit discouraged. So don't get discouraged. It's a part of the process. I had to talk two of my homegirls through this about like, dang, everything I like is just gone. I promise you, if you believe in God, higher being, whoever it is you worship, what's for you will be for you. Just remain patient. And honestly, if it's out of the market, then it's probably a good reason, okay? So every single home that, it was only two that I really wanted, and I was heartbroken about that thing. When I tell you it was the perfect location, it was so cute, but honestly, this home here ended up being much bigger, cheaper, and just a better long-term deal. So be patient and let God do what God needs to do, okay? No, but seriously, be patient, let God do what he needs to do, okay? I told my agent, like, this is it, Mr. Bill. We need to put in an offer. Like, this is it. So you'll know when you feel like it's the right choice, it is the right choice. And you'll feel it, you'll know. If you're having questions in the back of your head, like, well, I like it, but I'm not sure. That's not it. You're gonna know because you're gonna know. And Mr. Bill would always say, don't settle. You're gonna know when you're gonna know. And he did not lie. He was telling me the truth. You're gonna know. All right, next step, step 7. So after you find your home and you put in your offer, which is not something you do, I should have clarified that, it's something your agent does. You just tell your agent, hey, I like this home, let's put in an offer. You want to get the home inspected because everything that glitters is not gold, okay? So you need to know what you're getting yourself into because again, it's a big purchase. So this is something where you should be prepared to come out of the pocket. Most home inspections, I don't know, depending on where you live, might vary, but my home inspection was $350 and that was on the low end. A lot of people charge based upon the size of the home, the location of the home, how much square footage. So be prepared to pay upwards $400, $500, and it's well worth it. Again, you're gonna be in this home, fingers crossed, you know, for a significant amount of time, for a lifetime, or even if not, you're gonna wanna sell this home eventually. So you need to kind of know everything that's wrong with it. Do not skip on getting a qualified home inspector. All right, next thing, the home is going to be appraised, which again, that kind of goes hand in hand with the home inspection and the offer, but the appraisal is just how much the home is worth. So let's just say that your home is worth $100,000, but the seller is selling it for $500,000. You then can go back and counter that offer to say, hey, I love this home, but the appraisal came back at X, so this is what I'm willing to offer you. You're gonna have to put in so much paperwork. When I tell you these folks wanted to know my whole life, like, oh my God, bank statements, check stubs, W-2s, tax information, everything. I was so tired of sending these folks paperwork, but you need to do it, and a lot of it has to be done in a timely manner. Please, please, please pay attention to those deadlines. If they say they need it back in 24 hours, make sure you send it back in 24 hours because your offer is contingent upon you getting the paperwork back in a timely manner. So the quicker you get the paperwork to your bank or your lender, the quicker you can speed up the process. And don't be discouraged if they keep asking for more and more paperwork. All right, the final step, you finally made it, closing day. And that was probably one of the most exciting days. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of signing. You're really gonna feel like you're signing your life away. And I guess in essence, you kind of are. It's a big purchase. But by the time you get to closing day, you're ready. So you close and then that's that. It's your home. So again, thank you all for watching. I hope this video helped somebody. If you have more specific questions, I always try to be a wealth of knowledge, share what someone has shared to me. So again, main thing that I want you to leave with is that if you want to get a home, you can get a home. These are the steps. It might be a long process, but it's worth it if that is where you are in your life. Don't let the I can't do it alone or I need someone to help me stop you, because you don't. You can do it by yourself. All you need is you and God, and maybe a good support system like your mom or something like that. My mom helped me through a lot of this process. So again, thank you all for watching. If you have not done so already, subscribe. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're a homeowner or you have tips and tricks, things to help you, go ahead and post it below. We need to all learn from each other. So again, I hope everyone has an amazing 2020 and whatever goals that you want to accomplish for this year. I'm going to speak positivity on that, and you're going to make it happen because you don't really have no choice. So again, thank y'all for your time, your energy. Wow. Have a good one.